John Krasinski has quickly become a household name, but for those who've been following his career for a while, he'll always be best known as Jim Halpert from The Office. From Krasinski's surprisingly successful directorial debut A Quiet Place, which he also starred in alongside his wife Emily Blunt, to his action-packed role as Jack Silva in Michael Bay's 2016 hit 13 Hours, he is certainly getting recognized as a talent outside of his comedy roles. His Office alter ego, Jim Halpert, is the mild-mannered and intelligent paper salesman who has more interest in the receptionist than he does in his career in paper sales. As every Office fan will attest, Krasinski was absolutely perfect for the role. But what comes as a huge surprise is Krasinski almost played a completely different part. Join us as we go behind the scenes to find out what happened, which role Krasinski was pushed to audition for, and how he ended up playing Jim. The Office phenomenon. To fully understand The Office, we must first go all the way back to its roots. The original Office was a British mockumentary sitcom, created by Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. The show followed the day-to-day lives of Office employees in the Slough branch of a fictional paper company known as Wernham Hogg. It aired on BBC Two on July 9, 2001. It was revolutionary for its day, using the rarely used mockumentary format. The British version of The Office featured 2 seasons plus a 2-part Christmas special that worked as a finale. At first, ratings were low, but it has since become one of the most successful British comedy exports of all time. This success didn't go unnoticed, with several localized adaptations that were based on the original's basic story. The most popular of these adaptations was the Emmy Award-winning American version, which starred Steve Carell as Michael Scott, the counterpart to Ricky Gervais's David Brent. This version of The Office has become an even greater success than its predecessor, and earned its place as one of the most beloved and popular shows of the 21st century. Despite the show ending in 2013, the show has been on a resurgence in the last 5 years, thanks to streaming services such as Netflix and Peacock. One of the most memorable characters from the show is the young, straight-laced paper salesman Jim Halpert, played to comedy perfection by John Krasinski. Halpert is the American counterpart to the character of Tim Canterbury in the UK version. Tim is played by Martin Freeman, who earned himself a powerful Hollywood career with such work as Bilbo Baggins in the Hobbit trilogy. John Krasinski was a newcomer to the entertainment industry. While looking at his successful career today, it's hard to believe John was almost a complete newbie to the industry before his big break with The Office. Prior to it, he was working as a waiter with only a few minor credits on his resume, including an appearance on Law & Order: Criminal Intent in 2004. Krasinski was in doubt when it came to his acting career, even considering giving up acting entirely in favor of a more practical career path. Luckily for Office fans around the world, he decided to audition and advocate for the role he knew he was born to play. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you give it a like, and subscribe to Trender if you haven't already. And stick around for a lot more about John Krasinski. John Krasinski auditioned for a different role. The creator of the American Office, Greg Daniels, revealed to the surprise of many that Krasinski's initial audition was for Dwight K. Schrute. Dwight is the competent salesman with no people skills who butts heads constantly with Jim. But auditioning for Dwight didn't sit well with Krasinski, as he felt a deeper connection to Jim Halpert. Daniels shared that Krasinski fought for the role despite a huge amount of pressure from NBC that he was better suited to play Dwight. Krasinski spoke openly about the situation on an Office of the Office Ladies podcast, hosted by former cast members Jenna Fischer and Angela Kinsey. Krasinski told him, "They said you're going in for the role of Dwight, and I had been a huge fan of the British show, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm right for that role." In many ways, landing a role in The Office was akin to winning the lottery. The casting process was extremely competitive, and many talented actors didn't make the cut. Such established actors auditioning for roles in the show included Seth Rogen and Patton Oswalt for Dwight, John Cho and Adam Scott for Jim, Kathryn Hahn for Pam, and Bob Odenkirk for Michael. Odenkirk later had a small role in the season 9 episode Moving On, where he played Mark, a boss who behaves much like Michael Scott while interviewing Pam for a new job. Alongside Krasinski's stern footing on who he wanted to audition for, it most likely helped that his best friend from school was BJ Novak, writer and executive producer on the show. Jenna Fischer, who played Pam Beesly, the shy secretary who would eventually become Jim's love interest, has been very open about the intense audition process. The producers partnered up the different potential Pams and Jims together to gauge their chemistry. Fisher explained once she finished her scene with Krasinski, he told her she was his favorite Pam, to which she responded he was her favorite Jim. Krasinski's chemistry with Rainn Wilson helped him get cast. While John Krasinski was determined to audition for Jim, another actor with over a decade of acting experience auditioned for Dwight. That actor, Rainn Wilson. When Krasinski and Wilson were paired up during auditions, their unique chemistry was a deciding factor in Krasinski's casting. Wilson's career was highly accredited, having worked in theater for 10 years before he even came to LA. During the auditioning process, it was clear to the actors and creators that simply being funny wasn't enough. The actors needed chemistry and the ability to improv off one another. During the improv segment of the auditions, Krasinski was the only actor who could stand toe-to-toe with the much more experienced Wilson. He was able to throw Wilson back on his feet, making the decision to cast Krasinski an easy one. When Krasinski was cast as Jim Halpert, his entire life undoubtedly changed. Now it seems the tongue-in-cheek bond between the two rival characters translated to the real-life relationship between Krasinski and Wilson. Wilson even appeared on Krasinski's YouTube series Some Good News as a special guest. It went just how fans of Jim and Dwight expected it would. As the second Wilson arrived on screen, Krasinski taunted him and eventually cut him off before he could say very much at all. It's hard to imagine anyone else playing these iconic characters, and it's safe to say Krasinski is pleased he stood his ground to audition for Jim instead of Dwight. Since his 9 years working on The Office, he's riding his successful wave of work in film and TV. The sequel to his directorial debut, A Quiet Place 2, is due for release this year. It was originally due to be released in 2020, but it was delayed due to COVID-19. He's also working on the TV show Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, where he plays an up-and-coming CIA analyst thrust into a dangerous world of counterterrorism. His most recent announcement is the film project Imaginary Friends, where Krasinski will write, direct, and act alongside Hollywood superstar Ryan Reynolds. Now it's time to hear from you. Is The Office really one of the greatest TV sitcoms of all time, or is there another all-time classic that takes the top spot for you? Let us know in the comments section below. And be sure to subscribe to Trender for more. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.